Family Leonardo, me Nasiladi on Multimedia, the CEO, Voice of Salon. Today I come for talk to now, my family, make una continue to subscribe to our YouTube channel and share to our friends them. As we always try to bring for the latest news what they happen around Salon, whether it be politics or any other news them, what they happen or gossip, what they bring out to una live and direct. So please, my family, don't forget to subscribe and share to our friends them. You wanna touch the bell icon so that you no miss any video we will try for bring out to una. So that's also we want make una don't forget also for subscribe to we TikTok channel on TikTok and also on Facebook or Facebook page or the Voice of Salon or also the on Instagram Voice of Salon, please family. And don't forget to share. Okay, thank you now. Tata.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leoneans, comrades all both home and the diaspora. This now the golden voice of the APC Encyclopedia, the Britannica, the socio-political analyst, the voice of the voiceless, the whistleblower, the lion of the social media, the regional publicity secretary, Southern Region, under the ticket of the mighty, indomitable All People's Congress Party. Fellow Sierra Leonean, fellow listeners, ladies and gentlemen all over the globe, as you know, the Encyclopedia Media always embark on civic education for continue for educate, inform, sensitize, conscientize, and raise awareness to be people in a mama salon on daily happenings and on burning issues. So una stay tuned, una stay fixed, una stay blessed, una stay connected to the Encyclopedia Media, for una listening pleasure is absolutely guaranteed. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, today na May 28, 2025. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, before I go on my topic proper, la address the one-sided Honorable Alhaji Ibrahim Ben Kargbo, when a deceptive political vampire, we not get the gravitas, he not get the clout, he not get the competence for invite His Excellency the President-elect, Dr. Samura Mati Wilson Kamara, na a fake and a deceptive kangaroo peace meeting, a politically frustrated elder with rikishi and always proficient in vilification and fraudulent journalism. No wonder, that's why I don't box up journalism in this country. He deceive himself na AYV with a stage managed program where he dance with the shoes of Halaji Abuja, when the former president of the Republic of Sierra Leone, the exiled former President Kuruma, the two-faced former president of the Republic of Sierra Leone. IB Kargbo now the first man for undermine the electoral justice. We been the fraudulently try for cajole the APC MPs for let them go na parliament for let them not boycott governance. IB Kargbo now be the deputy opposition leader in 2018. We'll get a rubber stamp parliament wherein all draconian laws then passed them for still within 2023 elections, then go represent themselves in a parliament with Rotimbele and not to the people of Sierra Leone. IB Kargbo, now the Minister of Information, where is squander the fiber optic cable money, where come up from South Africa and landed now we shows them in Sierra Leone. IB Kargbo, now the first man we begin for vilify and stage manage the expulsion of Chief Alhaji Abubakar Siddiqui Samuel Samsumana. IB Kargbo, now the first honorable member of parliament, where they, na parliament where they massacre with people there, na Tombo, na Tonko Limba, na Loshar, na Makeni, na Kamakwe, na Ma 91, na Masengbe, na Panemba Road Prison massacre, August 10 state orchestrated massacre, September 11 massacre, the APC national headquarters, the 4 attempted assassination on the life of His Excellency Dr. Samura Mati Wilson Kamara, the politically concocted New York Chancery building case. Ladies and gentlemen, where was the deceptive and mentally constipated IB Kargbo? Fellow Sierra Leoneans, we been there. The counting been the ongoing at the provinces. The next Santi Bokiat Southeast Trabalist they are declared Papa Bio as winner as president through the duplicitous and two tongue IB Kargbo Wusa Ibinde. Wusa IB Kargbo Binde, where Bio labeled the people of Sierra Leone as terrorists. Wusa IB Kargbo Binde, Wusa the houses of APCans there and party offices there and the southeast, then burned them down into ashes by Bio in Kamajo. Wusa IB Kargbo Binde, fellow Sierra Leoneans, we Paul Pabio say you know they kill person again, they don't stop for kill after they don't massacre over 1,000 APC supporters there. IB Kargbo, now be vice principal na UCC. When I St. Andrew Secondary School, IB Kargbo, now be the president of the Sierra Leone Association of Journalists. IB Kargbo, now be the former Minister of Information and Communication. IB Kargbo, now be honorable member of Parliament representing Bombali District. IB Kargbo today now the spokesperson for the APC Fraudulent Elders Council. IB Kargbo now part and parcel of the killings, the jailings, and all the hardship and the bad things that will happen in Mama Salon. So IB Kargbo, you better shut up and go to slumber. Fellow Sierra Leone, any more radio interview or area about you, fellow Sierra Leoneans, you will bless the day and damn the hour. If not to the blessing of the techno politician, fellow Sierra Leonean, like the All People's Congress Party, they head for doom. Only electoral justice will save the soul of the All People's Congress Party. We listeners think you want to know waiting something where they head for a doom. This means that a person or a situation where they move towards a terrible or a disastrous end, we're not going to be avoided. This implies, say, now a sense of inevitability and an unpleasant or destructive destiny. Ladies and gentlemen, the phrase doom itself it suggests a terrible future state of event. Now we go to the detailed breakdown about doom. In general, doom refers to a terrible or unpleasant fate, which is unavoidable. Heading for doom, this phrase they suggest that somebody or something they on a path will go lead to the terrible or destructive fate. In the context of doom scrolling they refer to the act of compulsive scrolling through news and social media contents then. Often they focus on negative and distressing topics then, where they lead to a sense of anxiety, despair, and potentially even a feeling of being overwhelmed by a sense of doom. The All People's Congress Party then comfortable for let them conduct elections. They announce result where the counting they go on at the provinces. They announce somebody saying I winner. 2 years down the lane, no result. The unscrupulous APC leadership glad of that. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leonean comrades all both home and the diaspora, the APC leadership satisfied for betray the voters of Sierra Leone for only old executive position than they come into governance. The APC executive today they train talks there against their own members there for the lower level election. The APC then please fellow Sierra Leonean for call police, for let them intimidate, for let them kill, for let them ostracize their young supporters there, kill them, displace them, and send them to forceful exile. What they don't care about now Agenda 2028. The All People's Congress Party for contest elections without result and threaten their bullet for bullet, then they accept that election results. That way we get a bunch of educated fools and thieves. Ladies and gentlemen, today they don't become crying babies because of what they don't hear in at the census. The APC leadership forget for no say. Now the delegates then they vote for the executive and the flag bearer, and the people of Sierra Leone now then they vote for president. The same way when I contest without election result, now the same way then they pull census report without doing any census until when I say 2028, when I will bless the day and damn the hour. The same way when I don't disappoint the international community for let us stay democracy, now the same way Papa Bio get for Komo Pauna na Waterside Road. Ladies and gentlemen, the SLPP, fellow Sierra Leoneans, When they announce the election results, game over. Then say, na neck na get the right for announce. We don't announce, it don't done. Nobody, they know the published result, they know the Gazette result, they don't want to know nothing. Once ECSL don't announce, it don't done. Hello, Sierra Leone. Then the APC or scrupulous leadership, they accept the archaic mentality there. Ladies and gentlemen, Musa will get hope. ECSL is owned by the SLPP. The judiciary is owned by the SLPP. The cabinet is owned by the SLPP. Today, the cabinet law approved 2 new districts before the census. So, ladies and gentlemen, so what will be the fate of Agenda 2028? Where the no one join Dr. Samura Kamara for the battle we don't already win. We're not the fight for electoral justice. We don't get Bandajuma district in the south. They don't get Pangoma district in the east. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, 2 districts, ladies and gentlemen. Now what did they do? Then cut some partner Bo district, then cut some partner Pujon district and form a new small district, what they call Bandajuma district, only for political reason. Then they get a district council. What did they do? They enter inside Kalau, then cut this small, then can't get them a district, then cut this small, then put our in place, they name a Bandajuma district. For let them get district council, they add more wards, they add more constituency, then they get more parliament chief members of parliament. This now the destructive, the disastrous and dangerous politics of the SLPP when they incite the country into war. Then the APC sell out leadership, they dance to the tune. Ladies and gentlemen, now the South alone, they don't do censorship too. We don't get Bo district, Bond district, Mwamba district, Pujon, and Banajuma district. The South alone don't get 5 districts. They don't do censorship too. The East don't get 4 districts. Get Kenima, Kono, Kailao, and Pangoma district. Ladies and gentlemen, this now for Agenda 2028. And Freetown, they say they go divide them into 2 particles. Then can now Western Rural District, when now Waterloo, then they divide that into 3. Take Potloko District cluster for let them get Poloko City. Ladies and gentlemen. So if they fail the Freetown City, they don't go fail the Lunge City. Because and though I mark day, now they do the dubious contact for go use millions of United States dollars for one grain terminal. Therefore, go the thief with minerals then, for go the thief with water them, bypass and can go through Lunge, for plunder the country, for give criminal international investors there, ladies and gentlemen. And then therefore reduce it then drastically from the northwest. And also they therefore delete so many names. Now the final voter register, they don't want to know. APC asks for voter register, they know they give them, fellow Sierra Leoneans. We did all over the nooks and crannies of Mama Salon. We deal with the SLPP. Now the South, now they will born, now they will grow up, now they will go school, now they will do everything. We get friends in the SLPP. They anything we read, then political bootlickers then say, now the fact, ladies and gentlemen. So the target is not the Southeast. The main target, now Freetown, Waterloo, Potsloko, now in their own target, ladies and gentlemen. So that they will get forget 18 districts there in Sierra Leone. The 10 districts go there for them. Currently, they get 81 MPs 10 out of the 135 constituencies they will get. Then they get for erect 5 new added constituencies there. So 81 plus 5, then you forget 86 MP seats. While the SLPP, the APC, maybe go there to them 50 or 49 MP seats. Ladies and gentlemen, Agenda 2028. Then go, una go halaf. They not call one, ladies and gentlemen. More voters from the Northwest and get for delete them from the final voter register. And then people are they bulldoze all election protocols. As now at the tell una, they don't form, they don't set an election basket. We are in all the mines, then the cocaine, they within the loot, now they put their money then day. Because until 2028, no international body no will give them penny for conduct election. That they conduct election for themselves. They announce the elections. Then when they announce the election at midnight, till do clean. Then Kamajo police, they don't take all over the country. Any bush shaking, they're ready for massacre. Ladies and gentlemen, Agenda 2028. Ladies and gentlemen. So we're not going for settlements. So if ECOWAS, the African Union, the EU, the United States, the United Kingdom fail for take BO accountable, ladies and gentlemen, and left them for go scot-free. Democracy not only destroying Sierra Leone, but the entire Africa. Democracy is gone. Because all the other leaders in our other country, Sierra Leone are a case study. And the tripartite committee now be a three-way leadership. The SLPP, don't count the recommendation, the APC, don't count the divergent issues. Now, what don't left now the international community, because they be represented. Then are the arbiter, then are the referee. When two football game play, the referee now ain't go court, would have score, would have not score. Ladies and gentlemen, that they all come with election experts then. When they say Dr. Samura Kamara polled 57.15% out of the 71% RF form, where then Perus, where ECSL and SLPP agree to. And the European Union, they all RF forms there, then get 98%, wherein Dr. Samura Kamara score 58.3%. So the international community, the people then they wait for una findings. Now una fund the tripartite with $1.5 billion, fellow Sierra Leoneans. And all man agree say the findings and the recommendations of the tripartite committee shall be actionable and implementable. Ladies and gentlemen, if we are not establish democracy, now Sierra Leone will take another way, West Africa will take another form, and the entire Africa will take another form because democracy no more they work. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leonean comrades all, both home and the diaspora, no wonder an American engineer will say, he said democracy is a con game. It is a word invented to placate people, to make them accept a given institution. All institutions sing, we are free. The minute you hear freedom and democracy, watch out, because no one has to tell you are free. This is not Jack Fresco. We tag democracy, freedom. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, ladies and gentlemen, comrades all. So the All People's Congress Party for be taken from the hands of useless sell-out and kleptocratic bunch of demonic thieves. The APC grassroots, according to which they don't stand, then they on the right side. We don't want a leadership. We don't want power. We don't want a leadership where then are money making they want, where they violate the aims and objective of the party, where the party, any political party, the aims and objective now for contest election through democratic means and form governance and better the lives of the citizen. So we endorse the position paper of the grassroots 100% for this irresponsible and unprogressive leadership for quit and vacate office with an ultimatum of 21 days or of then go face a legal battle nationally and internationally. Ladies and gentlemen, the party registration and verification process. The grassroots don't categorically reject the ongoing APC registration and the issuance of ID cards there under the current executive. So then demand an interim structure, then demands imposition. They say 21 days ultimatum. When a final statement of time, where the youth man then pull, where the grassroots then pull, where get their own political party, 21 days ultimatum say all executive members of the APC were involved for breach the party in democratic principle for vacate office within 21 days. Legal action go follow. Feed and fail for comply. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, ladies and gentlemen, and in ask for accountability for the missing APC members then. They say 318 APC members then, where they be arrested, only 15 acknowledged by the state. The party executive them, then silence on the remaining 303 members. The grassroots And the one that will stand for electoral justice say it is unacceptable. Statement against Dr. Samura Matthew Wilson Kamara by the national chairman in statement that Dr. Samura Kamara they hold the APC party to ransom, a deeply divisive and a deeply irresponsible. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, ladies and gentlemen, comrades all. Then the immediate resignation of the current executive said they no longer get the constitutional or the moral legitimacy for leading the APC party. So an interim leadership committee for be immediately instituted for handle party registration and ID card issues then. Organize a national delegate conference. The SLP don't can, they don't kill with people then. The SLP don't fail we. They don't loot with votes then. They don't deal with people there. They don't plunder with mirrors then. They don't send with people then to forceful exile. They don't fail the country. They don't destroy the economy. The APC executive come again, then betray the voters, then sell we vote to Paupa Bio, then take me to the bureaucracy slaughterhouse for slaughter the citizens of Sierra Leone. Now the people of Sierra Leone, they hope only they to the international community because they count with democracy and then no say this democracy. Sierra Leone don't sacrifice over 50,000 precious lives they wouldn't kill from where the war go begin, na Kailan district, where the first gun fire, Nabomaru village on the 23rd March 1991 to 2002, they kill over 50,000 Sierra Leonean citizens for this democracy. I hope we international partners there no go kidnap for let another war again, or let them destroy, one great man destroy this democracy. We want for see, Busai be more powerful than democracy. We want for see, wherein African leaders then, they kidnap one great person, they destroy democracy. A single individual today, they challenge democracy, where we don't lost over 50,000 lives then. This now a big slap on the face of the ECOWAS, the African Union, the United States, the European Union, the United Kingdom, and the United Nations. Then people here tell we say, all in country they are now signatories them, and United Nations now then are the supreme body for supervise and supersede any side where conflict will happen, political conflict, civil conflict, or all incident they or electoral conflict. Then don't can and don't mediate, and Sierra Leone reports don't go take to the United Nations Security Council. Still, the international community they drag foot. Delay is dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. So we they call on with development partners there. We want to see their own tripartite recommendations. It is too late. Now 2 years they go so now. Why the drag foot? Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leone and comrades all. People then say APC in one family. But under this reckless sell-out leadership, ladies and gentlemen, not to the case that because family means F now for faith and trust. A now for affectionate bond. They will get M with a mental repose, and I na infinite love, L na lifelong support, and Y na yearning together when a family. So family means faith and trust, affectionate bond, mutual respect, infinite love, lifelong support, yearning together. Sierra Leone today na a nation of corrupt and rogue exploitative bunch of crooks where they call themselves politicians. Ladies and gentlemen, waiting a nation. A nation means a N na noble people, A with aspiring future, T togetherness, I integrity, O opportunity, and N nurturing land. So nation mean noble people, aspiring future, togetherness, integrity, opportunity, and nurturing land. This we don't see in our country. We don't get peace na salon, but na a fragile peace. And waiting at the meaning of peace. Peace, P stand for patience, E stand for empathy, A stand for acceptance, and C stand for calmness, while E stand for equality. So peace means patience, empathy, acceptance, calmness, and equality. A family and a nation without peace, it lead to a doom and would that destroy Sierra Leone. now the SFP Pauper State Looters Political Party, would have destroyed Sierra Leone. Now the reckless sellout and progressive current leadership of the APC would have destroyed Sierra Leone. Now the former president of Republic of Sierra Leone, the exiled president, the boss of the Munku politics, winner Alhaji Abuja, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leonean comrades all, both home and the diaspora. But ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leoneans, I want to talk to the international community. I want to talk to the moral guarantors them. That the language where they you understand, when are they your Queen's language. Ladies and gentlemen, so dear, we listen as them. We're not the only talk na Sierra Leone, we they talk like the whole world here. A claim that something lacks constitutional and moral legitimacy suggests it is not only legally invalid or unconstitutional, but morally wrong or unjust. It implies that the actions or system being criticized is not only failing to adhere to established legal rules, but also violating fundamental ethical principles. Ladies and gentlemen, waiting at constitutional legitimacy. Now we talk about legal validity and talk to the international moral guarantors there. A constitutional legitimate action is one that is authorized by and consistent with established laws and rules of government as defined by its constitution. Moral duty. Constitutional legitimacy also implies that citizens have a moral duty to obey laws that are valid within the constitutional framework. Consent of the people. Some theories of constitutional legitimacy suggest that the legitimacy of a constitution is based on the consent of the governed. Moral legitimacy. Lord, let us talk about ethical conformity. Moral legitimacy refers to whether an action or system aligns with the established ethical standards and principle. Justification. It asks whether there is a moral justifiable reason for the action or system in question. Moral justification. A morally legitimate action is one that is considered right, just, and fair according to a widely accepted moral framework. In essence, the claim that something lacks constitutional and moral legitimacy suggests that it is both legally unsound and ethically wrong, failing to meet the standard of both the law and morality. The moral legitimacy of the Constitution means in accordance with the rules of an ethic. Constitutional legitimacy, lawmaking procedures that are adequately assured justice of enacted laws. The Constitution is legitimate because it is our Constitution. It reflects our will, so you cannot circumvent it to thwart the will of the people. The Constitution of Sierra Leone tell we say, therefore conduct the election, certify election result, authenticate election result, tabulate election result, project election result, announce election result, publish election result, and gazette election result, so that any citizen will able to challenge the elections day na any competent court of law, as we dey talk today. No election result. Then people are bastardized with 1991 constitution. Then people are bastardized with 2022 public elections law. So any Sierra Leonean citizen where they against electoral justice, you know want Sierra Leone, you know want the future of Sierra Leone, you know want the development of Mama Salone. So fellow Sierra Leoneans, all the rikishi, the Kongosa, the labo, where they go and talk na corner, wanna steady fast. Dr. Samura Kamara, not a fool man. Dr. Samura Kamara, who say I don't drag them one day, we know say we don't win the war for electoral justice. Still, as they talk to the international community, constitutional morality is a concept that refers to the principles and the values underlining a constitution that guide the actions of both the government and the citizenry. In this case, the reckless government and the reckless APC leadership, all of them have conspired against the people of Sierra Leone. And the international body knows this. The concept of legitimacy in political science, legitimacy is the right and the acceptance of an authority, usually a governing law or a regime. What is the principles of legitimacy in law? The principles of legitimacy is based on three things. One, first of all, the people who are asked to obey authority have to feel like they have a voice. Two, that if they spoke or if they speak, ladies and gentlemen, their voice will be heard. Three, the law has to be predictable, ladies and gentlemen, constitutionally legitimate, meaning under reason-based constitutionalism, the Constitution is legitimate because its content is just, rational, or grounded in reasoning. In this context, reason should be interpreted broadly. It means any content based argument in favor of the Constitution and not in favor of the reckless and irresponsible favor of the rule of man. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, ladies and gentlemen, comrades all both home and the diaspora, what are called constitutional. Constitutional relating to, inherent to, or affecting the constitution or body of mind, entering into the fundamental makeup of something. A constitution is a set of fundamental rules that determines how a country, a state, or a political organization is run. Morality refers to the set of standards that enable people to live cooperatively in groups. Ladies and gentlemen, it is what society determined to be right and acceptable. Sometimes acting in a moral manner means individual must sacrifice their own short-term interest to benefit society. The quote about constitutional morality. Constitutional morality is not a natural statement or is not a natural sentiment. It has to be cultivated. However good a constitution may be, if those who are implementing it are not good, it will prove to be bad. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we are today as a nation. But we are going to correct and rectify this unfortunate situation. True legitimacy refers to the right or the rightfulness of power holder or system of rule. What is the legal definition of legitimacy? Legitimacy comes from the Latin verb legitimare, which means lawful. Legitimately then refers to something that is legal because it meets the specific requirements of the law. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leonean comrades all both home and the diaspora, what is the power of legitimacy? Legitimate power often referred to an authority encompassed with the power one derives from their formal position within an organization's hierarchy. It hinges on the perceived authority associated with a specific office or role. We elected this reckless sellout leadership in McKinney National Delegate Conference to lead us to contest the June 24, 2023 multi-tier elections so that the APC can win election through democratic means and form governance to better the lives of the enslaved citizens of the Republic of Sierra Leone. There are video evidences, there are press releases, there are audio evidences, all press releases, all the evidences are there that the reckless and unscrupulous APC leadership acknowledged that we won the June 24, 2023 multi-tier election. Then at the end of the day, after being bribed by this unscrupulous political Santi-Bokiat, they told us to move on to 2028. They think we are fools like them to accept election result, to accept election victory without result. Ladies and gentlemen, so this is for our international community. The same sellout executive leaders there. We support for protect the vote of Sierra Leoneans there, that they want today sell the vote of Sierra Leoneans there. Today, 303 APCians there. Then they on unlawful disappearances, where the APC grassroots not go tolerate, fellow Sierra Leonean ladies and gentlemen. All of the one that we go represent win at the tripartite committee, and the one that we don't squander and thief money in this country are through the 11 years of Anisbek Roma from 2007 to 2018. Now the same people them back so today, they join the mafian group for thief election, for thief we vote. If you're not to there, not then. But this could be the last end of Una. Ladies and gentlemen, the people of Sierra Leone determine what are the rights and duties? Citizens' fundamental rights are the basic rights that every citizen is entitled to, while fundamental duties are the responsibilities that every citizen is expected to hold. What is constitutional consent? Constitutional consent concludes that the need for these qualities in judges as well as lawyers and citizens is implicit in our constitutional practices, and that without them, judicial review will forfeit both its own integrity and the credibility of the courts themselves. What is democracy? Democracy, at its own core, is a system of government where power ultimately resides in the people who have the right to participate in decision making. This participation can be direct, where citizens vote directly on laws and policies, or indirect, where they elect representatives to make decisions on their behalf. A key characteristic of democracy is the rule of law, with elections held frequently, free, fair, transparent, and credible election, and a society wherein individuals' rights and freedom are protected. Ladies and gentlemen, by the rule of the law, not by the rule of men. Demo means the people's power, kratos, rule. What is a word for legitimacy, legality, credibility, and authenticity? What are the three components of legitimacy? Traditional, charisma, and rational legitimacy or rational legality. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow citizens and comrades all, legitimacy is valued where something or someone is recognized and accepted as right and proper. But these political thieves, all ministers, all honorable members of parliament, all other politicians, they are not accepted by the people of Sierra Leone because they were not elected through democratic means. As we are speaking, there are no results for honorable members of parliament. There are no result for mayors. There are no result for the presidency. Fellow Sierra Leonean, the ECSL SLPP Power Pass Out its Santi Bokiat cannot publish the June 24, 2023 multi-tier elections. What two elements make up authority? The term authority identifies the political legitimacy which grants and justifies rulers' right to exercise the power of government. And the term power identifies the ability to accomplish an authorized goal either by compliance or by obedience. Hence, authority is the power to make decision and the legitimacy to make decision. So the current APC sell out leadership, they have no morals. They are very ruthless. They are corrupt, unethical, unprincipled, unscrupulous, nefarious, vicious, evil, sinful. They are coarse, they are atrocious, they are blameworthy, they are libertine, unwholesome, they are heartless, wicked, indecent, miserable, outlawed, dishonorable, unprogressive, sell out, evil minded, vulgar, loose, scrofulous, wretched, reprobate, interdicted, defiling, and indecorous, fellow Sierra Leoneans. So we need a sober minded interim executive or leadership with morals, ethical virtues. They are virtuous, honorable, good, right, legal, legitimate, noble, honest, trustworthy, sincere, just, permissible, upright, principled, high minded, law abiding, decorous, credible, incorruptible, upstanding, worthy, immaculate, respected, and spotless. We cannot tolerate criminals to run our political party, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let us talk about the fundamental ethical principles, which provides a framework for understanding moral duties and, and giving ethical decision or guiding ethical division making. While various frameworks exist, some common and widely recognized principles include beneficence, non-maleficence, and justice. These principles, along with others like integrity, objectivity, and professional competence, are essential for individuals and organizations in various fields. Now, let us talk about fundamental ethical principles. Beneficence. The principles or these principles emphasizes the obligation to act in ways that benefit others, promoting their well-being and maximizing positive outcomes. This we call beneficence. Non-maleficence. These principles dictate the obligation to avoid causing harm to others, minimizing potential negative consequences. This is called non-maleficence. Autonomy. These principles acknowledges the right of individuals to make their own choices and decisions, respecting their freedom and self-determination. This is called autonomy. Justice. These principles focuses on fairness and equitable treatment. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, ladies and gentlemen, comrades all, ensuring that individuals receive what they are entitled to and that resources are distributed fairly. This is called justice. Integrity. These principles emphasizes honesty, straightforwardness, and acting in accordance with moral principles, particularly in professional setting. This is called integrity. Objectivity. This principle requires impartiality and avoiding bias or undue influence in decision making. This is called objectivities. Professional competence and due care. These principles emphasize maintaining necessary knowledge and skills and acting diligently and in accordance with professional standard. This is called professional competence and due care. Confidentiality. This principle highlights the importance of protecting sensitive information and respecting the privacy of others. This is called confidentiality. Professional behavior. These principles emphasizes upholding the standards and the reputation of a profession, adhering to relevant laws and regulations, and avoiding conduct that could damage the profession's credibility. All these are centered to what is called fundamental ethical principles. Ladies and gentlemen, listeners all over the globe, what are the seven principles of ethics? In summary, integrity, respect, fairness, responsibility, compassion, courage, and wisdom are the seven principles of ethical decision making. What are the five general ethical principles? One, beneficence and non-maleficence. Two, fidelity and responsibility. Three, integrity. Four, justice. And five, respect for people's right and dignity. The five core principles of foundational ethics. One is autonomy. Two is justice. Three is beneficence. Four is malfeasance. And five is fidelity. What is the definition of ethical principles? This refers to those general judgments that serve as a basic justification for the many particular ethical prescription and evaluation of human actions. What are the big four ethics? The big four ethics are the factors that lead to unethical behavior. One, greed. Two, speed. Three, laziness. And four is haziness. So the three basic ethical principles, according to Belmont report, identify three fundamental ethical principles for all human beings. Number one is respect for reason, for persons. Number two is beneficence. And number three is justice. So where there is no justice, there will be no peace. What are the basic principles? This refers to the fundamental ideas or rules that serve as the foundation for a system or thought, behavior, or conduct. These principles are essential guidelines or truth that influence decision, action, or frameworks within various fields, including law, business, ethics, and social system. The four fundamentals of ethics: autonomy, respect for the patient's right to self-determination. Two is beneficence, the duty to do good. Three is non-maleficence, the duty not to do bad. And four is justice, to treat all people equally and equitably. What are the four principles of situation in ethics? Pragmatism, relativism, positivism, and passionalism. What is pragmatism? Pragmatism is a way of dealing with problems or situations that focuses on practical approaches and solutions. Relativism is the philosophical idea that truth, values, and beliefs are not absolute but a relative to individual perspective, culture, or context. Positivism is a philosophical approach that asserts genuine knowledge derived from sensory experience, ideally through scientific method or a situation that is regarded in a positive perspective. Fellow Sierra Leoneans, ladies and gentlemen, still talking to our development partners, our moral guarantors. Personalism is the philosophical perspective that emphasizes the supreme value and significance of the individual person and their unique personality, as well as their essential relationship on social dimension. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leonean communists all both home and the diaspora. So, ladies and gentlemen, this now we get for tell with people them. As some people then they will study what we call deontology, when an ethical theory where they use rules there for distinguish rights from wrongs. Deontology often associated with philosopher Immanuel Kant. Immanuel Kant believes say ethical action therefore follow universal moral laws, such as no lie, no thief, no exploit the people there. So, ladies and gentlemen, Honorable IB Kabul don't cause a lot of destruction and Mama Salone. Now, in the SLPP use for call the APC MPs then for go na parliament so that they go spoil the tripartite committee. Fellow Sierra Leone, always SLPP they use Northwesterners then for destroy their your Northwesterner brothers then. SLPP used Chairman Abbas Bundu as imposed Speaker of Parliament for past bad laws and draconian laws then. We don't undermine with democracy today. At the end of the day, then kick her out because they don't use her, they don't misuse her, they don't abuse her, they don't dump her at the dirty box. People they lack integrity, fellow Sierra Leoneans. Ladies and gentlemen, now waiting SLPP do back. SLPP use another Northwestern as them back for fight against the young brother then use Temu Bangura in 1996, fellow Sierra Leoneans. At the end of the day, 14th election from John Karafasmat in hand for letting give the SLPP power, then promise her as a minister of finance. At the end of the day, now lead to an untimely death. Always the SLPP, they use the Northwestern state. Today again, ladies and gentlemen, now the Northwestern state, vis-a-vis Napoloko districts, ladies and gentlemen, when Alpha Kande, vis-a-vis Bombali district, when a former President Kuroma Ivy Kargbo then, they gonna carry a district, fellow Sierra Leoneans, now they want then they use for destroy the your Northwestern brothers then. Ladies and gentlemen, SFP use Honorable Mohamed Bangura for destroy electoral justice. SFP use whether Honorable Cecilia Bangura when a Samura in person for fight against Samura. This na in the SLPP they do to we full northern sisters and brothers them. SLPP use Ambassador Yansane from carrying a district for undermine democracy. Ladies and gentlemen, you see how them people are they behave, how SFP they use the Northwesterner brothers there for destroy their own Northwesterner brothers there. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Sierra Leoneans, where we get the 1967 elections, where the All People's Congress Party win, where SLPP can they overthrow we. 1968, where I can take that power they back and over to the APC. Now Brigadier John Amadou Bangura, born a Kalangba, carrying a district. Fellow Sierra Leonean, we hand over power. What happened later back? Now same SLP Shaka Stephen accused Bangura for a coup. We then kill him, ladies and gentlemen. So carrying a district don't suffer a lot. They don't use carrying a district, Poloko district, and Bombali district for destroy their own fellow brothers. Then today now Northwesterners then back then they use against their own brother when a Dr. Samura Mati Wilson Kamara. But God say, touch not my anointed. So, fellow Sierra Leoneans, I did tell we people that will listen us then. Any other talk when I go and read, when I just give a shit, when I know say the fight for electoral justice, we don't win now. All them people that when they go and talk, I be Kargbo them. They all don't eat war, and they all get for faced accountability. So, ladies and gentlemen, true not true, it not get no other name. Now I make by this time you for force the international community for let them come with your recommendation before it's too late. Let no see don't take what pass Gary. So, mesdames, mesdemoiselles, messieurs, je vous remercie beaucoup de mes écouter, c'est-à-dire les gens oubliés, mais les parents de la victime n'oublient jamais. Petit à petit, l'oiseau fait son nid. L'homme propose et Dieu dispose. La vie est temporaire et la mort est inévitable. C'est-à-dire, ce que Dieu ne peut pas faire n'existe pas. Félicitations, Monsieur le Président, Son Excellence, Dr. Samura Matthew Wilson Kamara. Vivre à la République de la Sierra Leone. Mesdames, Mesdemoiselles, Messieurs, je vous présente l'historienne et le rapporteur de APC, Encyclopedia.